Hello there, everyone. Welcome to Coffee Time Career Chat. My name is Patricia Hayes, and I'm your host for this lovely little chit chat. Welcome. If this is your first time, a little bit about me. I am an executive advisor, empowerment coach, and authentic networking strategist. And all that means is I love working with people who are looking to get their personal professional growth to the next level significantly, and who want to make sure that they're leveraging their professional relationships in an aligned manner that honors their personal values as well as their future goals. And it's just a fun thing to do, especially as a recovering attorney and former lobbyist. It's a lovely little mix of things where I get to use all of those experiences to help current and future leaders achieve the goals that they really want to do. So here is what we're going to be chit-chatting about today. It is still November 2024, and we have just come out of a major election here in the United States, and the results of which are going to impact not just the United States, but there's going to be some trickle down things all around the world. But for us back here in the States, I really thought it was going to be important to talk about what does it look like for you to engage in networking during the upcoming holiday season? Because folks have mentioned in the past years that our current president-elect, when he took office previously, things just really kind of blew up all in their families and their professional relationships. And guess what? We have already seen that start to happen already. So what does that mean for you moving forward into this next season when it's already a little stressful, when there's a lot of angst, some hard feelings, some confusion, all the things, right? So recognizing the status of our world, I would like to say, as always, that first we must take some deep breaths and do some breathing, get ready to engage in a serious reset and a refocus. And you just never know what's going to come out of a situation. I know that I am so thankful for my own professional network, because literally within the week of the last week or so, you find out you have support that you either didn't know you had at all, or that you have support at deeper levels than you realized. Because I have actually had friends and colleagues call from other cities or DM me from other states, from other countries. Y'all, that just does a heart good to know that you have people who are professional friends who recognize that, hey, Trisha might be having a little issue here. And perhaps I need to check in on her and to do so. And that's happened because uniquely for me, I have lots of concerns as a Black female lawyer in the United States. I have lots of concerns and issues with where this has taken us. So that said, I'm having to do my own breathe, reset, refocus as I look forward to what it is I'm trying to do with my own business and career at this point, how I support my clients and how I move forward in the work that I'm going to be doing to help support future actions. So the reset piece that I would like to say is this may be the time to go deeper rather than wider. I know the holidays is always about going out and you end up going to social events and you meet some new people and all that. I'm here for it. We still need community in a huge way. That said, maybe it's go deeper with folks that you already know as opposed to going wider, because as you go wider, there's more likelihood of engaging or interacting with folks that may not align with the things we're about to talk about. And so I'm not saying not to, just be very aware. It's going to require a lot of self-awareness and how you respond, what your goals are, what your priorities are, and all of that. So that's just a little tidbit, okay? And refocus to make sure that you're focusing on what is important to you. There's going to be a lot of noise. There already is a lot of noise. And I'm going to encourage you to tune out the negativity and listen to your gut. Listen to your gut and then take your actions accordingly. All right. So that's the breathe, reset, refocus piece of this. Now, I've got about 4 things that I'm going to highly recommend for you as you prepare for this post-election holiday networking and holiday activity season. That's going to be upon us for Thanksgiving, for Christmas, for Hanukkah, for the new year. And the first thing I'm going to say is it's going to be extremely important for you to establish your boundaries and do not sway from them. Okay. And what am I talking about? The places you choose to go, the people you choose to engage with, the time that you choose to spend. You're going to need to sit down and actively think about these things. Because if you leave it up to chance, not only is it risky if you're considering yourself a little tender right now, but it's also going to leave you wide open to a bunch of things that you may not be ready or willing to deal with. And, unfortunately, folks, we're talking about having difficult conversations or no conversations at all over holiday dinner tables before. And one would hope that we could have moved on and grown past that. But I'm already hearing stories where that's not the case, right? So prepare yourself, whether it's with work colleagues, whether it's with your family, whether it's with friends. You must establish your boundaries, know what those boundaries are, what it is you are willing or not willing to put up with. If you tell folks, hey, you know what, I really want to come have dinner, I do not want to discuss politics. If politics becomes a subject of conversation, I will leave. And don't sway from it. You can't be worried about how someone's going to respond in those moments, because if you are trying to maintain your own mental health, physical health, and minimize the stress that comes from those things, you have to do it. On top of the fact of there's going to be some of this holiday networking and party going that you can't get out of, particularly if it's related to organizations that you're a part of, if it's related to your work, all of that. Some of it you can't get out of. So that's why it's important to set your boundaries regarding those as well, right? If it's a reception that you time your arrival, that you stay for X amount of time, that you speak to the people you need to speak to, and then you get out. Because here's the thing, I am not trying to have you use the holiday networking as an excuse to ruin your future networking goals for the coming 25 and years beyond, right? There's a reality here that this is not just talking about your relationship engagement for the holiday season for 2024. We're talking about setting up a foundation for you to build on moving into 2025. So don't set yourself up for failure by trying to, get over, or I'm just going to tough it out. Don't do it. All right. I am telling you not to do it. It's sensitive times out there, and it's probably not going to be worth the energy or the effort. And I'm just going to say, if you don't like it or agree, then that is someone's choice to not listen. right? But I am recommending that if you really want to be able to engage and develop the relationships that you need for the long haul, long past the next, what is it, 6 or 7 weeks that we have to end this year, then I'm going to recommend that you establish the boundaries that you need to during this time and stick to them. I even stated, create your own quote safety map. So for those of you who have read The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, you will know what this means. Some of you don't, but it is literally drawing a circle and saying, who is it that you feel safe around? And she talks about it in the terms of being able to express your creativity in order to grow and all of those things. So I'm going to recommend doing that in a modified way in terms of making sure that you can have a successful networking season over the holidays. Who's in, who's out, who's on the inside, who's on the outside of that? Like, who do you know that's like, you know what, I know that I'll be able to, run with this person to some events and feel safe and know that they'll support me and if we need to get out, versus there are certain folks you're like, I can't deal. I cannot deal right now, so I'm not going. You don't have to. Okay. These are decisions that you get to make, and you get to choose how to abide by them. All right. Honor it. Honor yourself. You will thank me later. Secondly, I'm going to say to make sure that you honor others' boundaries. Be supportive. Okay. If you decide I'm all in, I need, this is how I release and relax, is going to all the social gatherings. Cool. Have at it. Then there are those of us who are like, I'm going to be a little more selective. I'm going to be taking things one day at a time or whatever, taking a deeper look. And maybe I don't feel like going to that event, or maybe I decide to pull something. Honor others' boundaries. Okay. It's really important to do it, not just for yourself, but for others. If someone chooses to go out, don't criticize them because they say they don't feel like it or don't want to. And the flip side, right? If they want to, don't go criticizing them. Well, why are you going over with those folks? This is a time to show some compassion to each other because we still want to be able to enjoy the celebrations of the season as best we can. So honor others' boundaries. It's just as simple as that. The third tip that I have for you is to prioritize your activities. This is going back to those going deeper rather than wider. Perhaps that's one of the things, that's a technique you can use. Make sure that you have things you're like, okay, I know I have to go to these 3 work-related things, but other than that, I'm not going, or I will take them on a case-by-case basis. Or I know that I need to go to 2 family events, maybe a couple of, friend events that I want to go to. And then the others I will take on a case-by-case basis, or I will make decisions as things get going. If your energy is off, that's really going to make a difference. I know that's something I've practiced being monitoring with my own self over the recent years, because there will be times I'm dealing with some chronic illnesses, and something I might have been super excited about going to, and then we get there and I get up to that time and I'm like, I cannot do this. I do not have the capacity physically or emotionally, or just I'm not there. And it was hard for me to recognize that sometimes and be like, but I really want to go, or feeling guilt about not doing it. Like, forgive yourself and let it go. I'm just telling you, it is not worth the anxiety. Manage your energy very carefully during this season. Prioritize your activities. If they make the cut, great. If they don't, release it and let it go, and know that it's going to be okay. All right. The person who is all about building relationships and engaging in those activities that will build them up. I'm telling you that if it doesn't work or if it doesn't feel right in the time and the moment, let it go. Okay? Because again, I want you to have and to utilize the skills and the resiliency in your relationship building activities that will be good and healthy for you for the long haul, not because, well, I've got to go do this and this and this. Then you're exhausted and you're like, I hate this. No. Okay. The last thing, which is one of my favorites, is plan your exit strategy. This is such an easy thing to do that most people don't. And it's like, go into an event, go into an activity, knowing that if you get there, that you have a plan for how to get out. And a lot of times people forget, like, you have options. You know, there have been times I've gone to events, I have a full-blown exit strategy. I'm like, I'm going to be here for 20 minutes. I'm going to go see and talk to this person and this person. I'm going to, wave at a couple more, and then I'm out. But then I end up meeting someone, or I get into a deeper conversation with someone, and I look up and I've been there for 45 minutes. That was not my plan. However, I wasn't staying because I felt pressured to, but because I had actually connected with someone and it just naturally happened. Okay. So allow yourself to go with the flow, but also come in with a plan. Come in with a plan. I am telling you, it will save you a world of headaches if you come in with a plan and then knowing that I've already thought about this. This has been great. I've done the things I need to do. I'm out. Okay. And then, come home, curl up with a good book and a glass of wine and call it a day. Because sometimes it's just like that. All right. So I'm giving you permission to do what it is you feel you need to, engage in those activities that you enjoy most, for sure. Okay. Making sure you keep those, if you have some traditions with your family or friends, that you keep those things that are important to you close at hand, and everything else. And hopefully those are ones that you're prioritizing, but everything else, it's on a case by case. You go with the flow with it, and you give yourself compassion to step away as you need to. All right. Because again, this is just 6 or 7 weeks. We have the future ahead of us when it comes to building out these relationships. And I want you to be able to do so from a position of positivity, from one of being a strong foundation, and one in which you can build upon moving forward. All right, there we are. I would love to know some of your tips or strategies, or some of your thoughts about how you might decide to approach your networking over the course of the remainder of this year. I would love to hear from you. If you decide, you know what, I need a little more support with this, let me know, because I do have a networking mini course. I have the holiday networking guide that will be getting released. So keep an eye out for that as well. And some strategy power hours I'm open for between now and the end of the year to help you get the support you need, right? If you really need to, particularly for those of you who really know that you've got to engage in some things because the job requires it, the business requires it, and you would like some more strategic advice on how to address your specific concerns. All right. Reach out. Let's talk. Looking forward to hearing from you. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.